What's poppin' people, SSJAipom here with episode 35 of the skill analysis series. We're checking out Janemba's iconic skills today, and we're trying to find ways to link into or use the skills and give any relevant information in terms of cancels or practical uses so you know how to use these skills on your own custom created characters or on Janemba himself. Of course, if we miss anything or you have any practical tips for us, hook us up in the comment section below. Our lovely thick assistant is going to be Poton, the female Saiyan, and her stats aren't at all padded for damage. As a female Saiyan, she has a minor increase to Ki Blast super damage, so keep that in mind for the damage values you do see in the video. We're checking out Raksasa's Claw, Dimensional Hole, and Dimension Ray. This video was requested by Real Negro Gaming on one of the pop-up streams we did, and I promised I'd get it done, so here we are. Man of my word, you know that, Papa, I gotta do it. Quick reminder that if you're seeing this video on May 18th, today is the deadline for your Fighter Showcase submissions for this week. Let's get right into the video. Rakshasa's Claw is a strike super that needs you to keep pressing the button in order to keep sending out slashes. Poton is a female Saiyan, so the damage value doesn't seem too high for the individual slashes, but as a combo extension, when you fully commit to it, it does some pretty decent damage for a bar of ki. We'll talk about the advanced mechanic for a little. By moving your analog stick, you can choose where you want to send a slash. This is probably to help you catch an opponent who's trying to step or step manual advantage to dodge a skill, or take on multiple targets in a multi-man match. You won't really want to do this though in most cases, since it's better to just do the skill as a combo extension opposed to just throwing it out there. The opponent will be able to snap vanish the skill if they are too close to you though, but they can only do it if you let the hit stun animation play out for too long. This happens if you pretty much just smack the key or the input and you kind of just let it sit there and your opponent does the whole I just got hit by a charged heavy attack animation. When you see that thing play all the way out, your opponent is able to snap vanish. If they are too close to you though and you keep smacking the button, well then they're going to be hit by the little slashes and they're going to have to take the whole thing up until your character does that flip animation. So the flip is when your opponent can actually get out of it. They are pretty much stuck until you do that flip. This is a really good move though. Other notable features seem to be that you can restand if you mash the opponent, if you mash the skill, at least 2 slashes after a heavy knockdown close enough to the floor. You'll see it in the loop if it didn't pass already, but basically if you tap the button twice while doing the skill, you pretty much make your opponent stand back up and they're stunned long enough for you to hit him again. This is kind of neat to be a dick when it comes to hit stun, and I think on a male Saiyan actually, you can do this into a charged, well not charged triangle, but a regular triangle button like the first triangle press, and then just kind of wing it from there. I don't know, you get creative guys, get creative, go ahead and do your thing. It's a pretty nice strike super that covers a decent distance and will even cover space between you and your target when you do get that far away, you know. It travels very, very far range, which is kind of nice. And you can use that extension to see what you can do with this thing if you haven't tried it out yet. So I definitely want to say, give this one a shot, guys. Dimensional Hole is a Ki Blast counterattack that is very specific, and that's one of its biggest downsides. The skill will only counter Ki Blast fired at you with the circle button in most cases, if not exclusively. This means that the skill is very situational, and it can't be used to counter things like Kamehamehas, energy waves, or energy blasts, or balls of energy that get thrown at you that aren't ki blasts. I feel like a buff like that would make the skill worth using, but don't think of this skill as your way to deal with people who are like ki blast canceling or tagging either. The explosion it makes takes a very long time to trigger behind your opponent's character. In terms of combat anyway, like they're not gonna stand still long enough for that thing to hit him after throwing a ki blast. I don't know who this skill was like designed to like help you beat, but your character also kind of stands in place and does a weird pose after the explosion goes off, leaving you wide open to get punched in your mouth. So that's another thing. I gotta say the skill has few too many uses and too many issues with it for me to recommend using it in a practical setting. But if they can buff it or something and make it like more reliable to hit online, or in a situation where ki blasts are going to be lagging like that, or I don't know, this move needs work, guys. Sudden death beam is going to be your go-to counter opposed to this one. Test it out though, see if you can find anything that I couldn't find with this one. It doesn't seem too impressive, it doesn't seem too useful, and for the bar of ki that it takes away even if you fail, it's not looking like it's going to be much of a gain on your side opposed to more of a deficit when you start using this thing. Dimension Ray is a ki blast super that takes 4 bars of ki before it fires a wave basically. This thing hits for decent damage and it seems to be fairly consistent, but there was a certain angle where it acted weird in testing and some of the attack missed the target, and online this seems to be an issue too, where some of it just kind of brushes over the opponent. So you got to keep that in mind if you're going to pick up a move like this. The skill is fast enough to be used after a charged ki blast with the Gotcha Super Soul as a true combo, and it can even be used after heavy knockdowns if you're close enough to the floor, which is really cool. This means you've got some ways to combo into it without needing a stamina break, but it's not a skill that you want to just toss out there while your opponent can still burst dash, because the startup is a little bit slow and you kind of just barely get to use it after the Gotcha Super Soul or the heavy knockdown. So again, if your input skills are not fast enough, or if there's a lot of lag online, or your opponent gets their stuff like red quicker than it's supposed to be red, they'll be able to get back up before this thing hits. I wonder what the actual damage potential for the skill is with like investment and a super soul that helps it though, because it did over 7,500 I want to say with Photon if I'm not mistaken, and it might have potential to do like over 10,000 damage, making it a fairly good trade for 4 bars of ki if you ask me. So hey, it's something you could look at. It's something you could look at definitely. With all of that out of the way though, the only thing left to do was to test the skills out against Janemba. He only had 3 in terms of his own like iconic skills, so unfortunately there isn't much to really go over aside from these 3. But I wanted to see if the AI Janemba had like secret ways of using the skills that I didn't quite think of myself. I wanted to try a combo into like Dimension Ray while squeezing it a bit more damage during the stamina break, and it did pretty good. I wasn't like disappointed at all. It seemed to be like exactly what I expected in the little training concept dummy test, whatever, you know, it was okay. But if you haven't though, check out the other videos we have on the channel where we've covered combo references and tips for all available cast characters on the roster that aren't memes, stamina break combos, general tips to give you guys better at fighting games in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 in general, the Adventures of Aipom series, a Legacy of Goku 2 playthrough, skits, and of course more mentor and iconic skill analysis videos much like this one, and even more content being added to the channel in the coming weeks. Yesterday we added Dragonball Advanced Adventure. I don't know why I like drew a blank there. We added that to the roster of games to play, and it did pretty good. I think you guys enjoyed that, so why not bring that back to the channel? We're going to be adding Persona sometime this week, if not next week. I wanted to do that. Injustice is coming next week, Wednesday, hopefully. Some story mode stuff, some box openings and all that if you guys are into stuff like that. Probably won't be taking that one as seriously as Xenoverse 2, but hey, I'll do Injustice stuff. And that's that. But I want to ask you to let me know whose skills you want me to check out for you in the very next video down in the comments below. But I'll be seeing you guys in that very next video. Enjoy the twerking and take care of yourselves.